It's October, twilight season is well and truly upon us, so I need to make some new products. Turn off the big light, make a hot drink, get cozy. Let's make new products for my autumn shop update. Of course, the first step to making any products is the ideation, and I have known for about a year that I want to make a twilight sticker sheet. So I did have some really awful sketches back in the drafts from when I thought of the idea originally. Since then, my thoughts have changed a bit, and I did a bit of searching through Pinterest, as I always do when I'm making new stickers. Pinterest, I'm not gonna lie, is falling off these days. I feel like there's so much AI slop on there. Because this is a Twilight inspired sticker sheet, I of course went and had a look in my Twilight companion book and my Twilight archive. The Twilight archive is probably one of my favorite things in my Twilight collection. It's essentially like a giant scrapbook. It's super fun. If you're a Twilight fan and you don't have this, I highly recommend looking for one. I got mine off Vinted. When I saw this Twilight mania up here, I was like, okay, I definitely need to make an alphabet sticker sheet. And there's this color palette as well, which I thought would be perfect to draw from. I then went back to the drawing board with my sticker sheet and like just jotting down some sketches and ideas. And I was gonna make it really Bately Twilight inspired. A camera like Bella's camera that she gets gifted by her dad, her truck, the iconic truck. But in the end, I decided to do it a little bit more subtle. So if you know Twilight, you know. If not, then it's still a nice sticker sheet to have. I know I would love a Twilight sticker sheet, but I didn't have time to work on personal projects. So after I finalized the kind of things I wanted to be in the sticker sheet, I quickly laid down all the colors just to make sure there wasn't like too much of one color. And that way I can also work out kind of the sizing of each sticker and where I want to place them on the sticker sheet. And then I went around and did a bit more of a structured sketch. I'm not gonna lie, I usually do my work in completely random orders, just however I feel and what I feel works for that product at that time. A few months ago, I brought out a range of like fruits and flowers, and it was very summery vibes. So now I wanted to kind of turn that into more autumn winter and do some herbs and veg. So I sketched out a few of those ideas as well. Now I had all my sketches, I could kind of break down in my head how long I thought each task would take me and how I wanted to spread it through the week. So I've put like when I'm going to do the die cuts, I'm trying to spread it out over this week. So I've got the rest of next week to catch up if I don't have enough time to finish everything, and or do the draft listings, do any product photography, etc. on this week leading up to it. It's it's 2 weeks to the launch date pretty much. That's why I've laid it out like this, because we launch on Saturday the 27th and today is Sunday the 14th. And I have not drawn a single thing. I've sketched out my sticker sheet only. I've not even sketched out the die cuts that I plan on doing. The scrapbook pages, I haven't done the autumn themed one any at all, but I have got my like just the general ones that I was going to launch kind of alongside these. I was also going to launch like a few other stickers that are not autumn related, like on the shop update day I was going to launch my autumn stuff and like non-autumn stuff also, but I'm not sure if I'll have time for everything. But I really want to get the autumn stuff done this month. So I'm just going to focus heavily on the autumn stuff. Spoiler alert, I hardly stuck to that at all. I knew very quickly that I was not sticking to the timings that I had written down for myself, which should have been my first indication that I was not going to be able to launch in time. But, you know. Usually my process is after I've done my like more structured sketch, I will go through and colour in everything and then add different like tones and shading and stuff on top in like a clipping mask layer. But when I was doing the sticker sheet, something just fell off. I just thought maybe this needs some funky line work. I want to do a different kind of line art in this one. So before I actually continue, even though I've done the book, I'm going to do the line art for the rest of it and then do the shading and like the different tones and stuff, just to see how that works, if that works. I've also got the new Procreate brushes, and I saved some the other day when I went through, so let's see which of them looks about right. Sometimes I do outlines in the 6B pencil. Sometimes I don't do any at all. Sometimes I make it black, sometimes I make it coloured. I didn't really know what I wanted to do for this one, so I kind of experimented with the new Procreate brushes and then landed on this guy. I feel like it kind of looks a bit cartoony, but I suppose it's not necessarily a bad thing. I might keep going with this pen and see how I feel about it. I really do like having a bit more of a messy, like hand-drawn look to my stickers. So to kind of offset the more rigid kind of cartoony look that the outlines gave, or like I felt that they gave, I changed the way I color in the stickers. I did the background a bit more opaque, and then on top of that went over basically just scribbling on top, whereas usually I just scribble the color in from the get-go, if that makes sense. So you'll see here I'm like making the tree darker, and then I'll go over with that lighter shade in more of like a scribbly pencil sketch kind of thing. I felt like the sticker sheet was the main thing in this launch for some reason, but of course I was also working on my other things, including these die cuts. The style for these, I wanted this series to be really fun, so it's a bit more of a messy drawing, which I actually really like. It feels a bit more carefree, and because of that I could kind of fit in doing those drawings literally whenever. So as you'll see throughout the video, a lot of those clips are me sitting in front of the TV or me in bed, whereas the sticker sheet ones I felt a bit more pressure and a bit more serious, so I'm mostly done at my desk. As much as I wanted to get the products out to you guys, I wanted to enjoy the process of making it. So I did make sure to channel the cozy autumn winter vibes also. So you may or may not have noticed a gap in my sticker sheet, and it's because I wanted to include the iconic October, November, December, January. I could have just used a typewriter-esque font, but I thought it would be cooler to type it up on paper and then scan it into the sheet. I'm trying to incorporate more physical media in my digital artwork and stuff, so it felt like a wasted opportunity if I didn't do that. And then I'm gonna cut these out. January, did I spell that right? January. Is it? No, yeah, I think that's correct. I did include September for some reason, but I double checked the book and there is no September, which I knew, but I don't know. I wanted to make sure I had more than what I needed. Better safe than sorry, I guess. My printer is the Epson ET8550, which I love, by the way, even though the colors are really annoying to get right. Anyway, but it does have a scanner is my point. And then I'm literally just cutting it out and putting it on my sticker sheet. I'm just adding some time in the back to add some dimension, you know what I mean? We're getting somewhere, I think. Is that gonna look silly? No, I think that's fine. Something like that. And then I'll have to add one in the middle to kind of ombre it out towards the edges, if that makes sense. Okay, I like that. I think I just need some I need to do something with that. With whatever that is down there. But, and then add some highlights, and then I can get onto this string thing. And I don't know what's going on there either. But that's a future me problem. My very fitting mug. One of the hardest bits for me about this fruit and veg series is picking the outline color, because I'm trying to stay far away from white, and also the stars because they have to match each other, but also the veg itself. I wouldn't say I'm the best at colors anyway, so this bit does take me a while. I've learned to mess with the hue, saturation and brightness to kind of just see what my options are and just see what feels like it works best for me. Like when I look at something, I can tell you if it looks off or not, but I just can't get the idea to start with. Does that make sense? I also did try and look at the spring, summer, autumn and winter color palettes to see what kind of colors were cohesive, number one, but number two, to obviously pick colors from the autumn and winter palettes. This is where I got to on this night with those colors, which is pretty much kind of what I went for in the end. Well, kind of. I realized there was like a lot of yellow stars or like pastel-y background, so I did try and change that up a bit. But like these peas, for example, I loved the pink and yellow. This is my favorite stickers. I don't know, something about the peas themselves. They really remind me of Hooray It's FA. I love her art so much. With all the colors picked out, I obviously went through and did them all neater, which is nice and satisfying, but takes forever. The next morning, my sticker sheets were done, but my printer was having issues. What is going on? So the next day when the ink arrived, I filled up my printer for the first time. I've not filled it up since I got it, and I got it secondhand and the inks were already used, and that was months ago, and finally some of the inks were running pretty low. I hoped filling up the inks would kind of fix the pooling issue I was having on my sticker paper. I also did a firmware update that said it might solve some issues, so take two with the sticker sheets. Now I'm at a stage that I'm happy with my sticker sheet. I am uploading it to my cutting machine software. I'm basically just going to upload all the layers separately. So the background layer, which is my stars and my @ a majority of the stickers are on the second layer. I want them to have an offcut, so that's why I'm doing it separate to the string of lights and the months, because I don't want that to have any border at all. I just airdrop all the separate layers to my laptop, where I put them on the Leonardo Design Studio. When importing them, I make sure to not touch the layers at all until all of them are on, because that way they line up perfectly. And then I just select them all, turn it by 90 degrees, and then duplicate it so I can fit two on a page. So to create the sticker sheet, I just make sure that the background layer is on the perf cut setting, and then the sticker layer that I want to like peel away from the sheet is on the cutting tool setting. Then I just change the force and speed for those separately. Mama. Yes, Aya.
The fan is making my burgers off my hand going off.
That's so gross, Aya. I'm having the same issue as yesterday, where it's like getting little pools of ink. Like I don't even know what to do about that. I'm gonna have to try a different setting. Right now I'm using glossy paper. So I did some test prints, as you can see, and I finally got the colors where I'm happy. So I've changed sticker papers. I don't know what's going on with the other ones, because that's the sticker paper I always use. I usually don't use dark colors though, so maybe it's just not great for super dark colors. But yeah, this is the one I'm gonna go for. This sticker paper is always bent and gets stuck in my printer. Yay, I think it came out good. Now I've worked out how to actually print the thing, I am laminating it. I use a self-adhesive laminate, and I apply it with a squeegee and then put it through my cold roll laminator. And then in it goes into my Caesar Juliet, which I love and may actually do a whole separate video on, to be honest. It's 5:24 p.m. Oh no, I got this thing as 2D. Bruh. As you can see, I did cut them a bit too deep. I didn't bother checking the cut settings because I was just so over it by this point and I was actually late to go out. So for the purposes of this video, I am just taping up the back. Don't worry, I would never send it to a customer like this. It's just so I can show you guys the finished product and I can make a little ASMR video of me putting it into my sticker book as well. So for this fruit and veg series, I like to put it in these little packets and then I just make up the little top card bit on Procreate, and so far I've just been following the same kind of formula for all of them, so it's been really easy. I just made the colours for this one a bit more autumn vibes, export that, crop it a bit, put it into Canva and put it on this template that again worked for me before, so I'm just keeping on using it. My website is looking super summery at the moment, so I need to make a new banner. Of course, I do this in Canva. Not sponsored by Canva, but I mean, Canva hit me up. I know I only have 20 subscribers right now, but I promise you, you're making a good investment. I want to use some of my stickers. I'm not going to film the process, but just to show you what I end up with, here is my old one, my existing banner, and here is my new one that I just made. So we've got these two new letter sheets. This comes in a pack of 2 because I couldn't decide between capitals or lowercase, so I'm just going to put them both. And then this is the Twilight inspired one. Of course, we have the October sheet that you guys have been seeing me make this whole video. A whole bunch of pattern papers. This is just 17 of 34. This is the kind of darker, more moody ones. I don't even know how else to show these other than like this on my table. They're not the correct sizes at the moment. These were just my test prints, but this is how my stickers ended out. They look so cute. I did them easy peel, so the white border obviously isn't part of the stickers. It's just so you can peel the sticker away from the background really easily. I've also got this rogue die cut that you guys didn't see me make in this video. This is based on one of my other stickers that I made for Martina's Tiny Store sticker book 2 submissions, and then all the veg and herbs are going to go into a bag just like this one. And yeah, so at least these are all going to be released on Sunday. I plan to still keep drawing within that time, and whatever I can get done, whatever else I can get done will also go up too.